Hello, my absolutely beautiful astrology soulmates. It's me, Stormie Grace, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for the week of February 21st, where this week, big news. We are relaunching our Kickstarter, and we've got 30 days to get it done. We kick off February 24th. There's a link in the description box down below. Click there, get ready on the preview page, and on February 24th, it's going to go live, and we're going to start our fundraising for year 2 of the YouTube Astrology Academy. If you have not checked out our free YouTube Academy, make sure you also click in the description box down below and click into the playlist. It's free astrology classes or classes that we funded together that anybody anywhere in the world can check out. So if you are new here and you didn't know we had a place where you can actually come and learn in chronological, set this way on purpose order, the astrology skills that make up a Western practice, you can absolutely do it here. So make sure you check that out. But the 24th, you guys, we're back in. We've got 30 days to get the funds raised. And we went back during the retrograde to re-look at this project, re-look at the funding, re-look at the teachers, re-look at everything we already had. And we have got this thing really kicked into the best position that I think it can be. So make sure you are helping us get crowdfunded all the way through, but we're going to start out on February 24th, okay? All right, friends, now that's all out of the way. Let's get in here and see what's going on in the cosmic sky. And I have to say, I actually think it's a really delicious, generous, creative week that we've got on our hands. We've got some sextiles with Neptune. We do have a square with Uranus, but for the most part, the cosmic sky this week has a really nice, generous, let's get it done together kind of feel. Now, right as though we're coming into the week on Monday, we're actually coming in with the moon in the energy of Scorpio. And this is beautiful because as the moon is taking its monthly trip through the Scorpio energy, there is this question that I think as we're starting out, what are you passionate about? What do you deeply desire to participate in? You know, if you could have the best intimacy, the best connection, the most passionate burn to create life and to create projects and to create moments with you in your life, like, what would that look like for you? And I think under the Scorpio moon, you get to put your hand on your heart and ask this question and be your own detective. Make you the research project. Right now, also, it's just good because if you need to get to the heart of something, especially emotional things, things in your home with your family, these are lunar energies. Is there something that you feel like is stuck to your spirit or that you want to investigate? Scorpio is a phenomenal detective and counselor all at the same time. So somewhere between finding the information, having the intensity of the depth of that Plutonian Martian experience, there's also a great sense of healing that I think is available for you as you're experiencing that Scorpio moon. So enjoy it. Enjoy where this lights up in your chart. For me, it's the bottom of the chart. It's the 3rd house. There's always a depth of conversation and there's these little pops of information that present themselves as we experience the Scorpio moon every month. And remember, it does happen in the same places for you every month. So you can start to track that even if you're keeping journals or things like that. Now, as we get to Wednesday, we're going to see some shifting in energy, okay? We're going to see Mars in a sextile to Neptune, and this is actually phenomenal because when the planets have sex, that's good for us because not only does it create a pocket of opportunity, right? That's what we see under this trine energy where it's like, oh, there's a pocket of opportunity. But now it's a pocket of opportunity, but you meet it by taking intelligent action. You're in action, Mars, with what's going on with this Neptunian energy. So this is a great energy for, what have you been feeling inspired to do? What's been bubbling beneath that surface? Now, we came in this week with the question of what are you passionate about? What do you desire? What do you want to experience? What's motivating you right now? And here you have the opportunity to not only have the opportunity, but take action on it. Move something forward. Move something forward in a productive way that is also very meaningful. Now, it's still Neptunian energy, so there is this vibration And we'll experience it again in April when Mars actually moves into Pisces, but it kind of kicks off right here of what do you want to do that actually meets the needs of others? Or it's just very generous. It can feel like a very generous energy maybe coming in, or your actions feel a bit more selfless. Things like this. You may start to feel this energy even creeping in a couple days before, and we're going to experience it again in this particular transit as we get to August 11th. So you can just make a little note on your calendar that, hey, I'm going to see this now, and then I'm also going to see this again as we get into this August time frame. So as we're traveling here on Wednesday, be creative. Enjoy that creative energy. Enjoy watching movies. Enjoy doing all of these things that are a bit more creative and dreamy. Now, I don't often talk about the quarters of the moon in our weekly horoscope, but this week something struck me and I feel like I want to definitely talk about it. And if you don't know anything about the quarters of the moon, I'll put a video up above right here so that you can check out the different quarters of the moon, the different phases, okay? But as we're also traveling through the afternoon on Wednesday, we're coming into the third quarter phase of the moon, and it's very much so an energy of turning away. So in a 30-day period, in this last 30 days, you're getting this opportunity to turn away from something, let things naturally come to a closure that need to, and it's a time for you to not have to be forcing doing. Instead, you've just had this delicious sextile which creates a pocket of opportunity, and you intelligently take action on it. But under this third quarter, maybe some of this action is also about passionately receiving, right? Allowing yourself to receive what is coming to you without all of the force, with turning away from, I gotta do it, I gotta make it happen. Instead, surrender to win here. Let the universe do the heavy lifting, and you just participate in a more gentle way. So I wanted to bring this to your attention, especially as we're thinking about what happened for you under this Leo full moon that we had. What came to your attention, and now you're like, I need to surrender in order to have that ending acknowledgement and adjustment, okay? Now, also later in the day, which I think is also in tandem and helpful, we're going to see Mercury and Chiron come together in a sextile as well. And this is a great place to express, journal, talk, share, something that's been going on with you. Or maybe somebody's coming to you and they're like, yeah, I've been struggling with this, or I'm hurting in this way. Whatever it is, there is this energy of we need to communicate out. We need to let the greatest teaching that we have, which have been in the most vulnerable moments in our lives, come out of us. And it sometimes means it looks like it's still the wound that I'm struggling with. But by sharing it, I get relief. And it's almost this sense of, by talking through it, I get to hear it with sacred ears, and it blesses me and the other person, or blesses me and my paper. It's a very sacred moment between you and the universe in some capacity. So enjoy that day of opportunity and surrender that is available to you, but under very creative terms, okay? Now, when we get to Thursday, the 24th, this is when we are, first of all, kicking off our Kickstarter, and we are doing it under the beams of the Venus now and Neptune sextile, and I love this energy. I just think that this is so divine because, first of all, music, movies, anything that has to do with service to other people, charity, philanthropy, all of these things come under that energy of Neptune. Now, Venus is exalted in the energy of Pisces, and while it's not in Pisces, this sextile is created quite nicely, so there's an axis of energy here. And so I feel like the power of this day to have you encouraged to group up around something that is important to you, to have you raise money for a cause, or be a part of something that you feel like gives to a greater good, a greater ideal, a greater vision that you want to be a part of. This is a phenomenal energy. Now, it's also both Mars and Venus coming into contact with Neptune is quite romantic as well. So if you're looking for a space and a time for some romance, bring some energy back to an existing relationship, really snuggle up the kids even, whatever this looks like for you. These are a couple days that are really, really in your favor, okay? Now, later in the day, what we're going to experience on Thursday is we're going to see Mercury square Uranus, okay? Now, the square doesn't have to be feared. Instead, it's squishing you, squishing you, squishing you, squishing you, squishing you under pressure so that you will take an action, make a decision to get out of the box, right? You don't want to be squished in that square anymore, so you need to do something. And with Mercury energy, you need to change your thinking. So Mercury square Uranus is phenomenal for giving you a new perspective, where it is like, I am so uncomfortable, or something has got me feeling like maybe I'm backed against a corner, even if it's an internal thing. So I'm going to get a new perspective on it so that I can make the best decision that is available. So that is one really positive thing that happens under a Mercury Uranus square. Now, the other thing that I think is great is that it may also encourage you to be in contact with groups of people, or people who share a social value that you share as well, that maybe before you weren't participating in, or something stopped you from participating in that particular way. Now, what I will also say as a cautionary is I don't think that this is the best energy if you have to make very detail-oriented travel plans, or you have to go through a very detail-oriented contract or something on this day. If you do, if you can just have an extra set of eyes on it to help you do that, I think that's going to be a little bit more in your favor. But if it's like you have been searching for tickets or something for a while, and you do have this exciting new perspective of, oh, why don't I check Travelocity instead of Orbitz, whatever. If it just kind of intuitively pops into your head, trust that, because your intuition will be sound, but things that need really specific details, this will be a little bit harder under this energy, but it passes. Just let the day pass, get into Friday, and you can kind of move on. Now, as we're closing out this week, Sunday, and getting ready for the last week of February, really like the last days of February, we're going to be closing with a moon in Aquarius. And I love this because we started the week under a fixed moon, and we're going to end the week under a fixed moon as well. So I just feel like that has some really nice symbology for us this week, that it is a week where we can be grounded in our intuition. We can trust, and we can ground down. We can be fixed with, trusting ourselves, trusting what I'm thinking, trusting what I desire, trust how I'm moving, trusting that fun and play and passion are allowed in my life, even while I'm growing through some other things. Because sometimes you have to just let the thing that feels uncomfortable be, while you're still growing, and you see it come full circle, and we got to learn to be okay with that. There's plenty growing within each of us right now, is there not? So lots going on as we're coming to the end of the week, lots going on during the week, and it's very collaborative, very creative. So get out there. I love to see, even if you are not out there reinventing the wheel or inventing something else, which I love that if you're doing that too, if you are just coming up with a little bit of pressure relief, different perspective on things that have already been going on in your own life, who you are, how you can navigate your situations, that's as much of a victory as anything else. All right, my beautiful friends, Kickstarter week. Let's get after it. Link in the description box down below. I look forward to seeing what happens as we get to the end of this 30 days and keeping the Astrology Academy up and going. So I love you guys a ton. I will see you next week. Have a beautiful week this week as well, okay? Bye, my friends.